Hello, this is class 15, the last class in this third part of o seu clique no inglês. Class 15 is about passive voice. But what is passive voice? Look, we use passive voice when the subject doesn't do the action that is in the verb. In this sentence here, the example, the table was moved, right? The table is the subject of the verb was moved. Yes? But the table doesn't do the action. The action is move, right? Who moved the table? I don't know. Somebody moved the table here. For me, it's not important who did the action. Because if I really think that the person who did the action is important, I'm going to use active voice. Active voice and passive voice are in Portuguese as well. Voz ativa, voz passiva. Okay? You probably remember studying this at school. Subject doesn't do the action of the verb, it receives the action. The action is move. The table received the action. Move. The table was moved here. If the doer, the person who does, is important, you use the agent, the famous agent of the passive. That is usually written with by plus the person, right? That is the famous agent of the passive, agente da passiva, right? That is preceded by the preposition by. The airplane was invented. It's important for me to say it was Santos Dumont, in my opinion, yes? Because some people think that it was the Wright brothers. So the airplane was invented by Santos Dumont. Was invented, passive voice. Was moved, passive voice. Okay? Santos Dumont invented the airplane. This is active voice because Santos Dumont is the subject of the verb invent. So he is the one doing the action of the verb. Active voice. Okay? Santos Dumont invented the airplane. Okay? The airplane was invented by Santos Dumont. This is the formula of passive voice. Look, how easy can something be? Yes? Because you're going to use the famous PP, past participle, do, did, done, invent, invented, invented, irregular verbs, third column, regular verbs, most of the times, ed, to, similar to the simple past, right? And the verb be. But is it only be? It depends on the verb tense. Yes? It's be in the present. I am, you are, he is, she is. Okay? Be in the past. They were, he was. Okay? Be in the future. Will be, is going to be, are going to be. Be in the present perfect. Has been, have been. Be in the past perfect, had been. Okay? With all the verb tenses conjugated only in this be here. Because the principal verb, the main verb, is always in the PP. Always. Right? If you look back here, was, simple past. Yes? This is the simple past in the passive voice. Was, simple past again, in the passive voice. Yes? We have more examples here. in the present. English is learned in Brazil. Active voice. People learn English in Brazil. For exercises, right, to transform from active to passive, you need to concentrate on the verb. Number one, because it's this verb that is going to be in the PP, past participle, and because you need to understand which verb tense this verb is, because you're going to use the same verb tense that is here for the be. Okay? So people learn, present. So you're going to use be in the present. In the past, my dad was transferred. The company transferred my dad. Transferred in the PP, regular verb, and transferred simple past, my dad was transferred. Okay? My dad and his family were transferred to Brasilia. In the present perfect, the wallet has been stolen. The thief has stolen the wallet. Verb steal, conjugated in the present perfect. So the verb be is going to be in the present perfect. The wallet, it has been. Verb steal in the past participle, stolen. The wallet has been stolen. Damn! English is learned in Brazil is inglês é aprendido no Brasil. My dad was transferred is meu pai foi transferido. Can I use Portuguese? If your Portuguese is outstanding. Again, yes. Because passive voice, as I said, we have passive voice too. Okay? What is the problem when we're learning English as a second or as a foreign language? Passive voice tends to appear in books as a huge review of verb tenses. People don't have problems with passive voice. They have problems with verb tenses. So if you have a very good command of the verb tenses and the key words that are associated to them, then it's okay. Yes, I prefer that you concentrate on the keywords to identify which verb tense is being used. Write the sentence or use the sentence in the passive voice. And if you really need to be confident about it, if you're writing something, for example, and you have time, then you can translate it into Portuguese. Or if you're doing a test and you're in doubt about the passive voice sentence you have just written, go back, translate it, see if it makes sense, right? The wallet has been stolen. You came to the conclusion that because this verb is in the present perfect, you need to use the present perfect here. This is the verb steal and the PP is stolen. You are absolutely or almost right sure that this is correct, but you really need to use that, translation just to be 100% sure and satisfy and please your perfectionism, right? So, the wallet, a carteira foi roubada, okay? Then, knowing that even if in Portuguese you say foi roubada, in English you're going to use the present perfect because you don't know when this happened, or it's not important when this happened. So this is my recommendation to study. It usually shows up with all verb tenses being reviewed, right? So this is my word of advice. Portuguese is possible, yes, to double check, but try to think about the formula, try to concentrate on which verb tense to use in the be, right? And don't forget that the principal verb is always in the past participle, okay? When you're going to use this? Well, usually when you need some distance, right? You want to be impersonal about what you're saying. It's very common that when you travel on business and you come back, you have to write a report to your company, to your boss. This report is usually written in this style, right? You have to be impersonal about what you are reporting, what you are telling. So it was said that the company needs to do this and that. I was told, right? Or even maybe I was told is too personal, right? Um, News also, right? Very common. You look at the front page of a newspaper, you see the headlines, or you go to a news website, you see the headlines, lots of passive voice being used, right? Because, like, killed by mistake on a headline, it's a person was killed by mistake. Yes? So it is a way of building good headlines, the use of the passive voice. Right? So basically, the idea is this. When you need to be impersonal about what you say or about what you write, and in news, right? In news too. And in news. Okay? Passive voice is the last topic in this third part of o seu clique no inglês. I have set up 3 bonus classes, which we will see next, right? 2 of them are about pronunciation, and one of them is a short guideline on certification in English, okay? This is the end of the third part of the course, and I'll see you in the bonus classes. Bye-bye.